Wunna no okwa won sabetimi akomo oba Kumasi a me patro omo awo soame Afrancho and Afemazi Wunna no kwa Kumasi won sabetimi akomo and Afe Takwade so no womo awo Airport Ridge Lagos Town opposite Mount Olivet Air Church onso kwa won sabetimi akomo na Afe Tamale onso no oko Silver Rose Guest House onso sabetimi akomo Canfield Boga Road Wunna no okwa B5 plus omo so awo honoma womo ebeti aboma bibia so no etimi akwankanti wo down se sem dina a free air foundation akopim so wusi dan de asiso obo dan so me patro iron rod and natwa chese bibia ayen chance ade bobo so na no B5 and na no pay me come from and so timi dem am numbers near 0244 433 1635 0244 331635 and after 0244 342620 now on the B5 plus and so penny for any comma and now pay woman nan assassin now pay ya de am the name no and so at the evidence on this note yemfa I am the name no and so emphasize na fe PJ Mose on also entrance na fe woni ayem penny for him ebra aye aliala and Javier Clemente woman to entrance na fe o ma bi biensem no and so etimi ede amamu
amanonin some bits around the world of sports and out to Richardo so adenin some atimi atudwan enche obesa so aba be dan ho no de fisema horo and so aba ensemi na ko Facebook adam ewo Nhyira 104.5 FM so Twitter at Nhyira 1045 FM Instagram say at Nhyira 104.5 FM na YouTube and so here Nhyira TV yakwa man so yede Raymond Nyamado alias the King is naked and ekokasa Raymond Nyamado and so adwuma e Accra Happy FM Raymond I am watching eba Nhyira FM so
PJ me also anopi na me tia one Ethiopia anopi
na asantimansi ya musa ose abra na president Kwesi Nyantakyi e ho no now your series bia your friend the King is naked na enei as a cat yet okra kuba no what yada the King is naked unya biem ana cat there his cloth
PJ I think early days and said to me ma cat years okra time na onye juma ne kakra na niema koya definitely no ya bebo na baso niema touch maso we'll make sure say we do what is necessary and for now dear the King is close na time ebia obey naked dear ya dini na be suja
and the 2020-2021 EPL no efras here as an acumen a guru in the world of sports. What expectation is say now also say beko amount for the predictions about top 4 one kasa in your own perspective say now who EPL for this season.
Well PJ I think that this year's EPL no be one of the keenly contested in the last few years and I say this because share how the season ended last season now to me we say a lot of teams showed a lot of promise even to the extent say the final places in the top 4 no it was settled on the final day of the season no it tells you how competitive it was top 2 there it was almost confirmed but Osha and Nema caught this season there a lot of teams have gone into the transfer market and boosted their squad. Osha team beat Everton with a coach like Carlo Ancelotti. They've gone into the transfer market, brought in James Rodriguez, Omode Alanaba, Omar Santo Dakure. It's a Osha team now. And coupled with the experience of Carlo Ancelotti, who's won in Germany, won in Spain, won in England now, they have a very good team that can compete for the top 4. Ofa team beat Tottenham Hotspur. After, say, coach Pochettino and Jose Mourinho Abba, Jose Mourinho's hunger and desire to win, it is unrivaled. This is a manager who always wants to deliver. And once again, you have a team in Tottenham Hotspur that would find a way to compete this season. Also, our transfer market, also, Doherty from Wolverhampton Wanderers, fantastic defender, and Obo on the wings, or your wing back, I bet Miaka say, or a very fantastic. Again, Wakoto Hoybia is a solid midfielder. You can always expect him to bring some discipline into Jose Mourinho's middle of the pack. Maybe they are not household names, but these are effective players who can function in Jose Mourinho's team. Again, Ofa TV to say Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then you know himself, Nuno Espirito Santo. No, he has a thing for Portuguese players. He has a lot of Portuguese players in his team. He hasn't lost too many players. Again, he would want to push for a top 6 or a top 4 finish. Osha usual campaigners now. He said Chelsea. Chelsea have gone into the transfer market done some fantastic business. Kai Havertz, Abba, O'Shea, there's a report there, Eduardo Mendy may be joining Chelsea, NCBA, O'Shea player, a bit Timo Werner, and also have a cat team, no, Pulisic, Wahodada. Lampard has a variety of players to choose from. Definitely, what he will be benefiting from, they say, he will have a very good bench to rely on when the going gets tough. Chelsea themselves have done fantastic business. Offer team beat Manchester United. Last season, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, at a point in time in the season. Transfer markets, they've been quiet, but Johnny van de Beek, Abeka team, Paul Pogba, you can always expect Manchester United to always want to compete for the English Premier League title. You talk about defending champions Liverpool, who would be consistent. From maybe I'm leaving off last season. Liverpool also they would want to compete for the English Premier League title. Then we talk about Manchester City, who have also done some fantastic business. Nathan Ake has joined, Ferran Torres has also joined, and we know that Pep Guardiola is a manager. He knows one way of playing football. They'll be very consistent. Arteta and his Arsenal, taking claim for top 4 because Omori top 4 and O'Shea on the back of winning the EFL Cup, winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield. They would be, they would have the wind in their sails. They can perform this season. And O'Shea, you can count as many as 8 teams they would want to compete for the English Premier League title this season, and every single team has the quality to contest. And America said, O'Shea this season's Premier League Nhyira, it will be keenly contested. And it will be down to the fine margins. I don't think that Liverpool will win the league by the number of points somebody win it last season. And I don't think that we are going to see teams perform poorly like they did last season. And I can confidently say this season, the English Premier League, a best ever, a very good taste of football, and intrigue, excitement, suspense, every ingredient you need for a season to be competitive and exciting there. I think this is the season we will find it in the English Premier League.
Okay, and putting all the pros and cons together, what top 4
Well, PJ, I think that Liverpool may be able to retain the English Premier League title. And I say this because O'Shea Liverpool team where Jurgen Klopp hasn't done too much business. He's only brought in cover for Andy Robertson in Tsimikas, player or Jeffrey Olympiacos Bayern. The player is not even fit to be a starter in the Liverpool team. And I can confidently say, we are going to see more of the same from Liverpool this season. And O'Shea Liverpool, one thing that has worked for them is the ability to turn Anfield into a fortress. And they are unbeaten in 59 Premier League matches. O'Shea, they've won 48 matches and they've drawn 11. Looking at this form at Anfield, I don't see how Liverpool will not take advantage of a fortress or home, to be able to rally to win another English Premier League title. And consistently, the Sadio Manes, the Mohamed Salahs, the Firminos have proven we are forced to reckon with when it comes to the English Premier League. Virgil van Dijk, as always, will be at the back, rock solid. Usha Gomez and other players, Matipa. These are players who can actually get the job done. Definitely, Klopp will be looking to bring in a midfielder. Thiago and Qatar, but as now the Obian to me Empire, but he has quality in the middle of the park. There's Fabinho, there's Wijnaldum. There are a lot of players in that Liverpool team. I think that they will be the most consistent team in the English Premier League. Until America said, O'Shea title Nidia, Liverpool for me may be able to retain the title. In second place, I think that Manchester City should be able to come in second again. And I say this because O'Shea Pep Guardiola, I think his focus has really been there and so to win the Champions League. And looking at how they performed in the Champions League last season, they were almost there. They almost made it to the next stage of the competition. But once again, they bottled it against Lyon. And Manchester City winning the English Premier League title, and not any news. It is not something that would make Manchester City fans excited. It is the Champions League now, and so that is where the focus will be. Because Pep Guardiola was brought in to deliver the Champions League title for Manchester City. And based on that, Pep Guardiola would want to win the English Premier League title, but it will not be on main focus. That is why I feel the concentration will be on the Champions League rather than the EPL. It is second place, looking at how they play, looking at the business they've done in India. I can confidently say, Manchester City should finish comfortably in second place. I will put Chelsea in third place. And I'll put them in third place because O'Shea Chelsea team where I think that the main problem with this Chelsea team hasn't been dealt with by Frank Lampard. Because Osha top 10 teams last season now, Chelsea considered the most goals in the Premier League. They considered as many as 54 goals. And so going into the transfer market, a lot of people would have expected, say, bolstering that defensive line, would have been the key preoccupation of Marina Granovskaya. They've brought in a player like Thiago Silva. At 35, I think his best years are behind him. You could say his experience, but looking at the English Premier League, Thiago Silva is not that man who would be a Virgil van Dijk for you in that defensive setup. Again, we've seen inconsistency from Christiansen, we've seen inconsistency from Zuma, we've seen inconsistency from Rudiger. These are the same players who are going to be in that team. He's brought in Ben Chilwell, but Ben Chilwell, I don't know if he's going to be the man to solve the problems over there. I think he's a fantastic lateral defender, but in terms of organizing that back line, in terms of giving protection to Kepa or whichever goalkeeper they bring in now, I still think that Chelsea are defensively weak. Again, if you look at that middle of the park where N'Golo Kante used to be the go-to man for them when it comes to the defensive midfield now. N'Golo Kante, injuries in Yama Ahano. And see, the N'Golo Kante we saw in that Leicester team that won the English Premier League, and the N'Golo Kante we saw when Chelsea won the league under Conte, it's not the same N'Golo Kante we are seeing. And see, Chelsea have a problem when it comes to the middle of the park in terms of the defensive midfield ability, and also, some back line. That is where the problem is. But offensively, Chelsea were the third highest scorers last season. And it stands to reason there. Bringing in more attacking impetus, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, you have the likes of Timo Werner. Chelsea definitely will go to game scoring goals. But the other problem from Frank Lampard, they say, this season, Frank Lampard has to coach a team that has a lot of star players. Getting the players to adapt quickly to the English Premier League, one challenge, coach, I refer to Frank Lampard. Because if Timo Werner doesn't adapt quickly, if Havertz doesn't adapt quickly, if Ziyech doesn't adapt quickly, it means that you are looking at giving them a season to adapt to the English Premier League before they come good next season. That is why it will be too early to say Chelsea should go out there and win the English Premier League. They have fantastic players in there, and they have a very good bench because of additions. But I still think that this Lampard team need a lot of patience to grow into a team that can compete for the English Premier League title, say in the next season or the next 2 seasons. It's in America said Chelsea can place a comfortable third over this season's league. And finally, four, make it Manchester United. Manchester United, without doubt, will try to challenge for the English Premier League title. But I think they still have problems that they need to solve. United not having an out-and-out striker who can get you 20+ goals a season would be their biggest problem. Because if you look at Chelsea have Timo Werner who can bang in the goals. Liverpool have Sadio Mane and Salah who will be competing for the goal king come end of season. The Manchester City have Kun Aguero, they have Raheem Sterling, they have Kevin De Bruyne who can, on their day, number of goals in the course of the season. United have players who have consistently been inconsistent. Rashford, Martial. These are not players that Obertimai rely on, say, on the more consistency throughout the season. And based on that, you can say United may be solid in the middle of the park, they may be well organized defensively, but when it comes to killing off teams, that will be the problem for Manchester United. But that notwithstanding, a decent fourth position for them to play Europe next season, and I'm who say on to me every season. And video be top 4 there. Liverpool should be able to finish first. Manchester City should be able to finish second. Third, Chelsea. Now fourth place, but the Manchester United.
Now, predict here. Why not a baby media top scorer and probably the best player?
Well, PJ, that's a very tough one. But I can say, Harry Kane looks like a player who could be reborn under Jose Mourinho. And I say this because a lot of criticism has come, if you play in Jose Mourinho's team, they are a better than Ajigo King, because he's not a coach who is more interested in attack. But I think that Harry Kane over the last few seasons has shown a lot of consistency. Apart from last season, at a point in time in the season, I still think that Harry Kane is a player who can lead the line for Tottenham Hotspur. He will definitely be in when it comes to scoring penalties. He will definitely be in when it comes to scoring with his leg or scoring with his head. I think that Harry Kane, for me, would be in a competition with players like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is also a go-to man for us now in attack, coming up against a player like Raheem Sterling, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane. These are the 5 players who say they'll be going for the golden boot. But I think that Harry Kane, for me, because of the responsibility of carrying this Tottenham Hotspur team single-handedly in terms of a more attacking line, if he stays fit in the course of the season, I don't see how Harry Kane shouldn't finish the season with the golden boot. Again, if you look at a player like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, depending on how consistent Arsenal become, and I'm saying how consistent because Arsenal in the transfer market, almost signing Houssem Ouar from Lyon, almost signing Thomas Partey. I don't know if Ceballos will be back in the team. But if he's able to get the supplies now on Dia, and the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is one player who we can also look to say, to me, are competing for the golden boot, And then you also talk of Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah. These are players who will score goals. They can give you 15 to 20 goals a season, without doubt. And I think that will be keenly contested, but my pick for the golden boot this year definitely be Harry Kane. Again, if you ask me the best player there, I think we are seeing a lot of players coming to the English Premier League. We are seeing James Rodriguez also come in. I think Bruno Fernandes gave a good account of himself when he came in last season. We've seen the likes of Kevin De Bruyne equal the assist record. Now, Abranti, a friend of Thierry Henry, Ekita, Arsenal. And again, you have a lot of players who can come to the party for various teams. Pulisic was fantastic for Chelsea last season, and a lot of people are tipping him to continue from where he left off last season. Again, Hakim Ziyech is a fantastic player. Kai Havertz is a fantastic player, but a lot of it will depend on how these players are able to position on teams. And for me, if I'm talking about Liverpool winning the league, then we may be looking at brilliant performances from Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah. And if these players are unsung in the course of the season there, then I don't see how they will not be able to win the player of the season. Again, for Manchester City, you have Kevin De Bruyne who will be, taking all the boxes for them in the middle of the park, providing the assists before the assist, and also trying to score goals as much as possible. These are players that may expect to be competing. Again, Bruno Fernandes has proven there. He's that creative spark in the Manchester United team. So if Manchester United are doing well, then a lot will hinge on the brilliant performance of Abranti Ayefrano, Bruno Fernandes. And these four players, looking at how they performing last season, among various clubs, and how they will perform this season, where they will position on the team, and about determine how they will finish the season. And I can confidently say that it will be keenly contested in terms of player of the season, but the usual suspect, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes for me, and maybe we could add the dark horse Paul Pogba. If Paul Pogba decides to bring his A game to Manchester United this season, then maybe we could be in for a shout to be considered as a player of the season. PJ, these are some of the key players that I may expect to have a big season for more respective clubs.
All right, Raymond, and the idea as Antimai Dasi, Sawaso Ajibre, any Akasa, Ewo, in FM so. Yamina Kaho, it is a Brano, Uba Velio, Liansu Yanima Pawo Munibi, Eddie Ama Ghana for. Yedasi
PJ, na Metia, Asanteman, and Opin. I said, when I'm the first time, I may announce him in Humamo, but they should expect a lot from me in the coming season.
All right, Raymond Yamado, Elias, the king is naked, and Watson in Kano. Nhyira 104.5 FM, Sunday Passports, the weekend edition, and the Asia. The effervescent Ayala Ewaha, something the most experienced, heavier Clemente, and so Ewaha, and they Nuhu, no Emfano. It's yan kind in pie boom, said the Tridian Pono, Bema Hodini, Akutadi, Timia Sheno, the free Duade Kono, the Timia Shabum. Ayala. Okay. Yantu fans am kwa Krabium. Yane director of sports. Ya kwa Krabium, yane director of sports for Joy FM. Gary Al Smith ene kwa kasa. Gary, emwachi ediba Nhyira FM so.
Nyame adom. Bibia ya boko wa Accra na so Kumari Council.
Oh, bibia da ehye bibia de
clean. No, how do you say?
Ayala ne behu. Ayala ehane ye state ne dey.
Hey, who says Namunim? Oh, that's one man.
Nagari, UPL for this season, if you are what expectations you're saying?
Million, the kind of Ghana boys in the Yamapa, you know. You're starting free ho. You see, no Mohammed Salisu, I bet join a cast of Ghanaian players now more honor. Now Salisu now, so on your Naji, my blaster, no, on the off no. You know, hapa, I can't ocean the preseason, if anything, videos now, the own say, Obono Homo de Impa, Ozen and say, no, I quite say, top teams in the world in defenders and our center backs are Omoya lefties pa Salisu ALFT inti amount for Dudona and Ekase Sakwa Wejuan Shea Obebo 1 or 2 seasons was Southampton big team betono because the need for a left-footed center back is increasing because of Omoya a bit more versatile Omo really game the better maybe a kick in particular no me pese me Salisu said Obebo them pa. But apart from Salisu, yeah, Jordan, are you the leading cast of Ghanaian players? No, into only Crystal Palace. Mosha last season almost started here very well. So, Uncle Ye. In fact, after the lockdown, I ISM poke up Ekakra. Na Kaya last 2 weeks, any Jordan media house was do any Jordan interview now multimedia AAB. Into it's about me expectations. Now say on one Kasano. Osha, he just wants to score at least 1 goal a game. And then that is his aim for the season. That every game so opese or starting into Osha, the Crystal Palace team is one they will be very, very reliant on Jordan Ayew. Osha said, "Well, President how Omonya Nigerian boy be a 22-year-old boy be a free QPR so obeya dia mo pa nintino." Hopefully, Jordan Ayew will avoid relegation this season. Now, but Nhyira Mati, and in any case, it's different because our listeners, the Kaya, on your injury while on Black Stars duty. Now, since he went back, the career ain't the same. But instead of moving, we decided to fight for the place or Leicester City. Into Nyamea Duma, on also be a dear Kakra, that Jeffrey Slops to Crystal Palace. We are sure say on also be game time. Christian Achusu, I say I'm not acquainted because. On one side, player be Ryan Fraser, or was that position now Christian Achun no into no one year Christian Achun so no now man for Dodo na Kase and I was say moving from Newcastle, but of all the Ghanaian players no I don't have a lot of hope say Obinya a lot of game time to be honest with you now because Daniel Amati now the other chap now on no be pray for position so you know on Shedan Gamsa, what I say, but maybe I'm sure said that Amati can make a case for himself. So apart from the Ghanaian players, let's go to the African players now. Well, winning the African contingent of Premier League every season Kesia, but on top of them, players like Riyad Mahrez this season because Leroy Sané we a lot of game time. Sadio Mane game time. You'll be integral to Liverpool. Even though I'm out for Liverpool, I share here. Send a mobile be play in the various competitions now. Amunya Adaji and fan resting here no. One share here this season first Amun to me in defending on the title Ono Mohamed Salah of course. Me personally me feel say Mohamed Salah I know himself is kakra. O release the ball kakra na. Other teammates who share the rate of missing chances now. I a hard dream for Liverpool fans. So apart from that, other African players have a system name. Osha Dukure players of African descent. Dukure Akko Everton. I think we can go to Everton now. Everton has very, very interesting because Carlo Ancelotti said sometimes all you need is a big name manager to be able to attract some of the biggest and the best talent in the world. Before the end of the season 49 days ago Everton if you even wanted to do a forecast for the 2020-21 season now Everton in Kahosa, but all of a sudden Osho team and on potential first 11 now it's difficult to look beyond them finishing below the top 7 or when your players to say James Rodriguez and we must say as a player or injury prone mom there, but we all know the kind of quality he has on a good day. And he has signed players like Alan from Napoli. If you look at the fact that they have Holgate, Calvin Lewin, Nini Akikahona, Osha, Everton, or Ambeha Jinkakra, but I predicted they might have a bit of a slow start because they have to settle in. So those are some of the African players I'm saying Omoye pick ones you need to share. And it's by you Manchester United, but no, you don't know what is really wrong with him because he's also very injury prone. And then the kicker home. African players. So over Chelsea now. Chelsea have signed very, very well in this transfer window. And say Chelsea fans do one they are meeting Nhyira FM launch no on Wednesday no. We say Chelsea fans now they know or more. I wish you more pass this season no. First and second dear. Empire for that. But make catch you almost say almost slow down kakra because team no. You have to talk players. Overnight and sometimes you have to take your time for the team to settle, and by that time no, it might be half a season or even one season. You see, put here from Lampard now. I said cautiously optimistic. He doesn't want to be too of Chelsea fans to give them too much hope, and that is the way it is now. Now let's come to the title challenges. I think Liverpool and Man City still will be the two teams who will be fighting for the top two. Liverpool and Man City. Maka Liverpool wants them. Man City no. Also they have strengthened in key areas. In Sir Alex Ferguson. Now Okase or say you have to sign players from the position of strength. You can't achieve much. I say, that is the time I was signing players. Adding because when you are winning, there's confidence in the team, and players look at your team and feel like what you are saying, they can be part of a project. And, the fact that Liverpool didn't make key signings this time should be a worry for Liverpool fans. So that is why I personally think they will finish second this season. That is my personal prediction. I'm sure Manchester City will win this season. No, I think Chelsea will finish third. Manchester United will finish fourth. Arsenal will finish fifth, and Spurs will finish sixth. So that is my short review of the Premier League season.
Completely top four in my eyes. City fat, Liverpool top to second, third and fourth near Miami.
Chelsea third, Man United fourth.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. What I think. Miami Arsenal already. Akakakra team no Akakakra fifth. Say you did anything better than fifth. I'll see it as a successful season.
All right, Gary. Asantimani chef emetie fo na da sisa no pe waje bre eni akasa.
Asantimani de Miami e ba kuma ka Miami fi Mississippi nti wo de kwahwe
Okay, Gary Smith as your director of sports for Joy FM and Akasa our expectations for this season's premiership. Ayala.
Yeah.
To asuma say bi aboko de una yemu na te say ohunam owidie mu wawaresem mu sikasem mu yeda Christ ase who shed ye this season's CPL nim
me sure bibia bi na say the way I show it here no too educative, especially on Saturday. Say any detail via say I can say you be juma we are and the starting free say football yeah the rules never enti okay the way and go for you passionate about football now ade here tied into ade ba say you hear TV so and I say nya akonya stadium the interpretation of Mrano any whom come yedidi as football fans and me sure say obia or ya custodian of the EP obiano ever starting omunum say English FA no any English football for na kasa omu ho ahometi e wo Mrano ho because enoma bebria e bi say ifap any FIFA for be just say you fan diago obekona England for o ma yen sacharae wo mu enti every season be as wa hwe hu a ye be start season English Premier League no almost set of rules any changes on my ya omu person omu followers ehu say season na e ba start no e bia wa hwebo ache e bia be bia ofi no say na hwebo but eba Premier League ni dia eno ma we na ye sachire wo mu a as you go along the EPL journey na onso so odi atu timunti ho na message start ye nkomo free COVID-19 ba ya omu ye sachire wo football laws mu a uko fifa from IFA4 edi betu dwa say
because COVID-19 ma eja ebo ne bo na yakotena afie na bre ene adidi ama yemu aye dunti say you start project restart e wo wiase say ye bobo obi mu a enka ne say bobo within 90 minutes of substitution aye no wo akonya say wo de nkonform yensa ene free bench e babo nim na because of COVID-19 situations abenti omuma ho kwan ma ye start footballer ye substitutions 5 into obi o football bia after project restart bia from all the leagues including the Champions League any adu nyina who say teams no are allowed to make 5 substitutions. Yaba start Premier League we no EPL for nsi dabi Saudi no nya competitive more now mo football munim and say ye bobo a yetima ho kwam ye 3 changes into they are reverting to making only 3 changes in the Premier League. And say Abia na other leagues abejatum say oh we are still in post COVID. Into about 5 substitutions but say oh with team Chelsea and Manchester United and Arsenal and Leicester City team bia wo shebia na say coach I 3 substitutions not because you are now familiar with 5 na ojin say obi say park so na wo tietie na wo yedede say oh na lampa na yakwa so na for obi bless so bet my 5 substitutions na mesna wo you ever start Premier League na yi yintimi nya 5 substitutions EPL for na say omako back to omo 3 into 3 substitutions pe and abonu so moye they are tosu menu
no quick one normally 20 because of 5 substitutions normally 20 players and but this some more 18 players
sure
from 20 to 18
yes obi a wo share football after project we start be also be there dance say football you buy first at 45 minutes second at 45 minutes if I want to say because of COVID no whole stress into the first 45 minutes everything be 1 minute so me call your friend to drink break kwako penso kakra no anu because players na pomudino engina no ho saa into benya 1 minute break in the first half then 1 minute break in the second half a schooling break sana be ya betima konu muso kakra energy drink bi kakra EPL for no again and said that Saudi so they scrap it into see EPL this season as compared to football where after project restart no we are not going to see water break in the EPL BRBM honum enti ano so yen hye no so ankane no na COVID-19 embaye no na ya start Premier League no especially on 8 August near in July enti dey bia from 8 August to July enti omumu edu UPL etin are familiar with those dates no say UPL they starting in August near in July. But this time around, the EPL is starting in the weekend of September 12th and 13th. And Omude Abetu just say, Yebobo EPL, no, the final day of the EPL is on May 23rd. What it means is that you have 4 months short of the normal EPL season, and you are familiar with from August to July. No? And then Yebo EPL within a space of 8 months. We are custodian of the calendar. Once you share on your mind just to suit the old way you used to watch EPL. Now that you Champions League near there, and they say and such a kakaba. The EPL this season is going to be played only within 8 months. That is from September 12th and May 23rd. Near upon EPL no. And that is one thing I also say for so as a so. Last season, the most controversial topic about EPL was VAR. Any decisions. Yabobo awie obenya S referees no mako Sky, BBC, Match of the Day, no mako BT Sport. Any channel be no mu explain it. Say decision where they ankoye o de toto seni eni ankoye onya players ankasa so musu onya coaches omoko post match press conference ekosu say VAR application nye at a point in time. Referee Colina or Referees Association we are seeing in our head say because of England for Ninti, they are going to implement a uniform wear VAR and the more football. Send your England for air apply or loss. No, some people na Ghana also apply the loss because Yakobo World Cup, the normal football fanatic, our World Cup no. Will apply the rules just as who when it come to mu and who on TV so. Enti omuma ho kwan ema EPF on apply VAR nonko and other federations so apply nonko yes when the customary English fan ever walk up na say you apply VAR in a certain way and we are not confirm to call but no say na say you say na me who some ye no why are they doing this way. England for say you best started this season no there are few changes to the VAR now. So we English Premier League ni mu a baby a omofa VAR ne free no ye fair ehonum Stockley Park ehona VAR room no kese na wa e monitor all the games na e koso no. Now they are saying say they are going to maintain say ye bobo na say a build up say e kwa ko goal na say offside bi bam na say offside na atire die wo ho a omo she assistant referee ne kitten say enya quick to raise your flag ma bo ne nkoso say abantare be so goal na ma ne goal ni wie so goal ni wie a you go to Lay Park and ask for the review of that decision because there's a tendency to say every game in offside but no go put flag say offside na ama bented empty me for ball now but you go and check now indeed the player was onside and to prevent that and for us to see more goals and the English Premier League to be excited no and then referees and assistant referees no almost so more and more flags when there's an offside position and controversial this will allow play to continue and it's a good issue here they will go and review it na omaba be di hunjuma they are tosu mienu. In English football, you will be a fan of referee review area. Yeah, Bobo no park in the sono. Ubo say set aside baby I didn't monitor BSC our touchline wa. Yes, referee say or decision be. Na say Olivia for the Kasana still acquiring Chinwadia. They will offer the referee the last resort to go and exercise the discretion or the referee review area. No, kasa ko jam monitor no ask for playback. Any angles I bet me man I exert a very good judgment on the issue. No about be almost they are going to encourage that more in the next season. Yeah, Baba Heno. And this one last season. So English Premier League now. A lot of the VAR decisions were communicated to the referee. I want to assume. And appeal screen so yeah review na wie go check and say oh go allowed and now go deny that near communicated to referee no ajatum this time around EPL for say the referee review area ho monitor na dey touchline one they are going to encourage the referee say even when you are communicating na say ujitum say decision na take here any some more catch or wasum no only to convince na say obeso we exercise with discretion on the decision they will encourage you to use the referee review area go watch it in the monitor na exercise with discretion on the decision no. Now the last rule I say kakabam going into a EP on say almost see a penalty the normal laws and say before a player now over penalty ni ebe keke ball no who goalkeeper na would up on him na open pesa o che penalty no eni kwa say u feel line na ya say ma e goal line so ebe wanim answer na player na keke ball no na impempi no eye na sa critical watch after penalty has been taken no ade bi e work from they are saying say they are not going to allow encroachment this season until they will be stricter on penalty situations and say ref goalkeeper no ebe keeping in line and enemy on the goal line before player no be kick penalty no a convert penalty na answer na wetin you na in the event say o goalkeeper na say e bobo penalty na say o yi na free line so answer na player na ba or boss enu pa you be allow no for him to retake the penalty again ade ba cross eye controversial na say o say o in PPC e bobo penalty it is either team na yaje penalty na tiaro no e defenders na aya alert say oh say keeper ni team puba pe we have to go and clear it. And I say, so team now when we need penalty, no place. Let's say, oh, so Bombona is not to keep on the puba. They want to go and do what you call rebound in football. EPL for say a free neco and I say this season they are going to be critical on baby a players no mujina penalty netino. And also NIC because of the attempt for them to either go and clear the ball after goalkeeper no up ball na bano and after go and play in the rebound for a goal. Even players now are trying to either go and pounce to score or to clear no almost so must avoid encroachment on the line enti answer na player na you see was on more penalty and na beka ball no one and also the 80-yard area area into some penalty box. So these are the new rules in Sachaya into the EPL no ye kwa. Now let me start me run analysis not from the issue of whether indeed a scary statistics say Liverpool beat me retain no title and also want me retaining in the last decade, DJ. And so what last decade that you are talking about, starting from the season 2009-2010. 2009-2010 was won by Chelsea. 10-11 Manchester United. 11-12 Manchester City. 12-13 Manchester United. 13-14 Manchester City. Then Chelsea comes back to win it in 14-15. Leicester, a toss of the year in 2015-2016. Chelsea come back again with Antonio Conte to win it in 16-17. And a Man City gain 17-18, 18-19. Then we have a new champion in Liverpool. So statistically, in the last 10 years, only Manchester City and the team Premier League now after retaining the title the next season. Until another Taisi. So if you want to go by trend, it is very, very difficult. Say, in the last 10 years, also by the league, now as a defender title, no? It is only City and Etinia in the last 10 years. And it is almost a pundit on Sky Sports, on Insha Sports, on BT Sports, on BBC. I can't just say, statistically, it's going to be difficult for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool for to retain the title now. This is the basis of the analysis. Ding for you to be able to do that. Me assure Kwan say after last 2 seasons, so where the points now City team reki here now. Anyhow, Liverpool were so competitive and so still City team get title now. Well, we are now because so then City will do it again. But last season they were so symbolic and Liverpool for BG. And the first analysis we will do on this platform and say Liverpool for G2. Say if the last 10 years is anything to go by, to retain the English Premier League is a very, very, very difficult job for Jurgen Klopp. So now beyond that analysis, okay, we say okay, then what accounts for Sadio? Argentina OG title now. Even if you keep your same team and your coach, is it difficult for you to retain it in the EPL? And say you become the target of all the teams. Obian himself, una. Obi a domly duachi taka channel on as well. And it is the belief in the team say they are going to meet the champions and the team to beat. And are daily preparations. Anyhow they face you when you are the champion is different from how they psych themselves to face the others, you know. And you become a target for every team whether home or away in the Premier League. And my matches are more difficult than your competitors are more any answer than you emotional. They are tossing me. Coaches that can say me say who coach a winning team are there is for you to psychologically get the players to be angry. A combat do almost still the one success until you guard against complacency. Until Liverpool at the league. Now I had the first time in 30 years, you know. Don't you think say some salary man must say adia bear 30 years or be nyanya no. Even the greats like Steven Gerrard Karagamu enti nyanya no. Yeah baba yeah. People we are the toast of Merseyside. Obi ebuedi, we've achieved. And even na aka was here. Yeah, they bet me for us, we've won the league, and our name will forever be in the golden books of Team FM Liverpool. So our retention of anger and our guarding against complacency has worked in this analysis. Say Team Bijia, I am not on to me keep in focus not to win it again. They total and they say I am not star now boy now sure. Become more familiar with your opponents because there will be a season any strategies need the way our players in city any the way you go around beating the teams, you know, they get to know of it at the end of the season. Also, Liverpool, the next also in Liverpool bar, and also show more lateral defenders in here because Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson will be coming in, giving you crosses, no move formula, no move overlap. They don't really do more central for energy technical players. We say Wijnaldum, Henderson, more they will run. Then Firmino more are the focus of the team, and to be Puliaba now allow money. So the teams tend to study you and find a way how Bona Ama will be anywhere stage, you know. Now almost okay. So they become more familiar with your star and then they rehearse against it. So it makes it very, very difficult for teams or Magic Premier League to retain it. Now to Liverpool. Look, there's a reason why Liverpool are near a lot of transfers because according to Klopp, the team is intact. The department and any person no born intact. And then Liverpool start no more. It's more dependent on their goalkeeper and lateral defenders in terms of the start of the transition. In goalkeeping area, they have Alisson, they have Adrien, they don't have problem. So last season, they started introducing a guy called Nico Williams, a young guy as a backup to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then Owakoto Tsimikas, the backup for Abante Friend and Robertson. And in terms of the lateral areas, Liverpool did this Nico Williams, Tsimikas, and Omu backup for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson. They've not lost any centre back. They've not lost any midfielder. They've not lost any of Omu front trainer. So according to Klopp, Ojinsa team is intact. Any question or plan who be brave, a lot of changes for the team. So we are going to see a similar Liverpool like we saw in the last 2 seasons now. Or may very, very competitive in the league, you know. Even for Klopp. So because of the gap now the other teams last season, a can't bear 5-6 games, you know. Now Onyakonya Emma and Crab be opportunity to come and play. And it's already Liverpool last season. Players like Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Ryan Brewster, Billy Cometio were given the opportunities to play our Liverpool team. Now Klopp they are to just say, oh my Ryan Brewster loan him. He is going to be part of the team at least for the first half. No, let the way I'll contribute to the team, no, and the real Messiabo. So Liverpool has a very, very intact team. Even this season in Podium, Klopp is expecting Fabinho born first season, last season, say, or that's settle more. Since Okofa and Fiu Monaco by, you know. They are playing against injuries to navigate and say, optimistic fighter, also on the dynamics to be also between the Abba and Fifu. The only player they've lost is Adam Lallana to Brighton and Hove Albion, which for them is suddenly a big loss to be. So they will bring in Osley Chamberlain and many other players no, to also come in. So, the guy that has come from the bench to impact games for Liverpool and Liverpool Origi. Oko Belgium, after the season, they were telling them Liverpool Origi and in the company say, oh, see if you want to for Liverpool now as a super sub is not enough. And so also to Lukaku Muni Misu Boswai Muna Unya Belgium national team Dibuba. Could be our best starting because you are good enough to start. So club to me you look, you were the toast of Liverpool when they beat Barcelona. And no matter what for Liverpool in the Champions League in the league, almost bought Merseyside derby against Everton and why a diamo no about we see you as a very, very good player. Say Liverpool go to any of the other teams and go and start and you get more playing time. And then club has been able to convince Liverpool Origi to stay. And that is one very, very good thing for referee jogging club. And yeah, who a lot of changes from the real Liverpool bono. But City seems to have solved few of the problems now. I'm real contender. I'm retaining the title last season, you know. And so I make solutions. I make about 2 signings on my year, and then Royce Haniko. But Pep Guardiola offer one of the brightest youngsters in Spanish football and me in Ferran Torres. Abatinim, Ono, Fabian Ruiz no see Akama Napoli no are the 2 big things for Spanish football. See I'm focus. And obi a have Ferran Torres bia enim say Abantani is a quality player. Nan say onya bi mpobo for the Spanish national team. Enti so ojini say Leroy Sané wa create a ho e was City team ni mu a they've brought a very, very young Spanish boy. Onimbo ni bono te Pep Guardiola bono person bonase. Now, at the course City last season was say after Vincent Company sumule na okacho so okono. O man for bia ma me hye nanan. and ebi obeka so na service company ko no opera too much into born na say na obo. Look, anytime be no ya fit Oja Park ni so bia, he gave you a grade A performance as a center back. And apart from the born no obo nimpo no, as a figure in the dressing room, any inspiration or the maximum when Omuja Park that was missing from Team FM City. And it's all there because they already lost the same company. American Laporte prior, there was no leadership, there was a big hole, and the only solution was to bring Abante Fernandino from midfield. Now on to come and organize the back for the man, and they've gone in for Abante Nathan Ake and NTA Italy Eba, and they say they are making inroads with Khalid Koulibaly from Napoli. At least after that, even Koulibaly Bebano with Nathan Ake and they probably don't say Bibi to the City defense now. Not so Ogadi against India. On to me, he doesn't really have to rely on bringing Fernandino back from midfield to come and do a makeshift center back for him. In the last 10 matches of boy after last season, Abante Eric Garcia impo. Ebe se mu bobo ni yes, pop the better about Eric Garcia catch so on City be no pesoko. Na no mo chance about so na for the bid be ma for bid biama. So with Eric Garcia, Nathan Ake and the prospect say Koulibaly betimi join the team your friend Manchester City no. The headache na e Pep so entimi momentum stages are competition no against Liverpool no. They seem to have solved it and now they've added quality. The only who I mean, I was it to Munum say, and Cavesen company choir, and in the lessons of Musia Fumuno, and Kaosha player be said David Silva, and a small Babasum City in the last 10 years, and then they arguably even pundits say he was one of the best players I always see as a foreigner in the English Premier League. What he gave City. And the only Kevin De Bruyne as offensive midfielders of City. And they are City in the last 5 years, no. And then David Silva is no more. And he's a big part of Pep. And then the style of playing up also our team friend Manchester City, no. But some argument from the English players say, oh, Phil Foden after winning the under 17 World Cup, no. Or your prospect to the state say, I was a City money moving part or money in Cologne. Now, probably who and so I didn't look at a derby. I bet and remember I am promoting him from the junior team to the first team. I have given him to David Silva to mentor him. And so my bet and Cologne, he will not learn enough from David Silva, and when Silva acquire, he will not be able to be in the capacity. I want to level and will take it over. So last season, will be always City here. In the last 10 games now I am glaring say David Silva, this was going to be the last season. Pep gave a lot of playing time to Phil Foden. And bad the Etono English camp. And some of my David Silva is going there, but the prospect of more opportunity for a young talented specialist be said for finding opportunity no. I just said they will at least close in the gap on him. I'm not saying so for finding the level of David Silva there. The mentorship for them are no. And the depth in the squad of City war, Riyad Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, they all add the quality to the team. And I think that this season City will be more formidable than the year last season. Chelsea, there is all about the expectations any players of my signing. And they will have to guard against that throughout the season.
I got 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, Obia Obeka Chelsea Assembia is going to refer them to ZH, Buena, Chiwo, Thiago Silva, Malansa, Kaya Havertz. And not just the players, no, the price tags on the Chelsea team, no. And my expectations in the cost. Your details in Komo Baby or platform, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. But my final analysis on Chelsea and say, Seni and Konfo say Chelsea must be real contenders and even win the league, you know. Mesro Momunyan to Wasema project, you know. Just as Gary said, some project will take time. And so they will do so a real contenders to meet Liverpool and Manchester City. And the Chelsea will come good. You are going to see new players in the team. Our competition. The Chelsea team will be competitive. But even to build the chemistry, to find a way to have everyone happy in the dressing room, because now you have to struggle to play in the first 11 will be something Lampard will have to deal with throughout the first part of the season, and maybe at the second part, not after when you have a control over the situation. So I'm expecting Chelsea to struggle kaka at the beginning of the season, but kick it off in the last half, and that will make it team Chelsea very, very good. Last on Manchester United. Namin for once Mumbai, Namin top 4 Namin ko. Look, Bruno Fernandes Bayern. It changed the fortunes on how and for Junior Manchester United project Neko. And so when Manchester United fans be doing come say say enka ya kasi start here for time Bruno Fernandes Bayern and probably we are the best team in England. That is true. Adia Bruno Fernandes ever survey United and say they dikai. So before Bruno Fernandes came, Manchester United were beating the big boys, and the simple reason was that not only gonna associate outbuilding team to be a counter-attacking team, and the Omusia Liverpool, Omusia Manchester City, Omusia Tottenham, Omusia Chelsea Football Club, because these clubs Manchester United they took the game to United, and that afforded them, as they have been built by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be a counter-attacking team, to be very, very effective against these teams. So now United is here. The smaller teams now, because the smaller teams in every Manchester United say a switch or munti now almost almost keep pressure. No more hit on the counter. No, now United ain't breaking through the blocks now. Those teams are not associational, and that is what Bruno Fernandes Bayern he added to the Manchester United team, breaking the blocks of Omo opponents and that did very, very well for them. Now the only interesting thing I want to see from Manchester United is say the Dutch newspapers from Telegraph almost say I convince Van de Beek Emmanuel say I come from Manchester United and say tell me only gonna so say ask permission for my ass or money near Branton in Casano or catch a Branton and say well who's a Branton in Bobo now offering very, very well in the number 10 row into about or the number 10 say they all for the Dutch national team any team a friend Ayas. If that is the conversation and only anything to go by there, then they will have to reshuffle their midfield, because midfield that Bruno Fernandes back at home not only gonna seem to sort the issue of the way also with Matic, Pogba, any Bruno Fernandes. Now with Van de Beek, any even Fred knocking on the doors of Ole said he is good enough to start. How the makeup of Manchester United with Van de Beek is going to be an issue I'm going to watch. And so look on associate me bold. Now of service agents in Tamwa, the Manchester United will be a team to watch, because last season you started project restart. So okay, offensive play bomwa. Players in the Manchester United anymore. Rashford, Marshall, Mason Greenwood. Okay, come goes a boom in all competitions. They even scored more goals than the front three of team friend Liverpool. And on my chest, if the midfield is okay, they have the balance of defense and attack. No matter any more for that chance, body they are as fearsome as anything they are over to compare England. The only problem I saw some Manchester United fans were defense. They seem to not have a lot of grit. Into Maguire, Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Mubiano. There seem to be some small vulnerability. They say Manchester United now attack at some point in time they break. And a problem I also will gonna associate and also finding solutions to. I will not waste my time on Tottenham. I think that they missed their time to be so competitive after going to Champions League final. Now the next season was disaster. They had to let Pochettino go and bring Jose Mourinho. Wait for me, he couldn't add a lot in terms of their prospects. This time around, do have to depend on my signing. The dark horses are still going to be Leicester City and Everton because of their signing on their BF up on Mutimino. Now my top 4. And I say my top 6 now. Obey the portmanteau because I teach you.
Let me teach. Yes, 1, 2, 3.
1.
I think say because of the statistics.
One
Manchester City.
1 City.
2 Liverpool.
3
Manchester United. Chelsea.
United over Chelsea.
Yes. Chelsea.
Okay.
That is my top 4.
Okay. All right. Ayala Eddie Asemeba Emza pe onu kwana Eddie United about to Chelsea and Mubia the Chelsea bar before United, but many cardia na kire
Asempa FM
heavy yankoi
ya PJ me so me chance free baby ayala chance na about changes amode aba our premiership quick one dey ba kwa no me no be one boss no for say at least be nya complete the course no also because of coronavirus no match is in a bono said they can behind closed doors na say the Martin say Spurs or money Everton never born now Spurs for more the akoto FNM saying at least one more directors box or more new stadium west in directors box and come almost supported by 4,000 now come run and come any issue ya ka say FF4 and so every and I tell the Brighton game match say nipa be 2,500 bet me akwa game nti and no one other and as your premiership say you know say you don't know so a season tickets and the season tickets is also on bear refunds and on better my credits and on better year ballots say season no course na say who say be a coronavirus no perform no more nipa etimi ko park no ko ball na on bear ballots say the bear why between ballot say between akwa no nso between akwa game no you toss me answer so you say 28 games they be born in September so 28 games they be born September ni nyina no omo be nyina live say the bear man for between a matches yes out was what FA Cup replace Embasso and your Carabao Cup semi-finals and so on over one leg and your more semi-final money 2 legs you're born one leg FA Cup replacing so Embasso Nana Ayala can be about VAR and VAR I'm saying last season so accuracy was about 82%. It's almost try to say accuracy in bear rising from 82% and I could be 95% and then almost now goalkeeper then all canon ube movie and sunny abobon yes say who movie first one you be my question who movie second one you know a yellow card who movie the third one you be my red card second yellow card and a red card and ten no so share what goalkeeper no e wo penalty na so gina line so utu na kakra bia first referee me number 1-1 is a bema gina yi we say 2-9 second one and your buy on kasa na yellow card need so third one buy na o ma second yellow card na red card na uko and bra in CBC US ne Black Lives Matter issues ni ba say be baller na teams no omokoto ho no mo yes as say the FNA and so mo air consult Islam consult say sade no season be chance no mo etimi ayesade na ana so mo intimi say players no e be koto no ma mo so na say in support of finance in solidarity with the course so e course for US no and na coronavirus testing na omo testing once on better testing once. It's the first one testing 2 times. First one testing 2 times. Some better testing once. And the first now mobile now you better testing 2 times. Some testing once. And now staff on some better test almost 75. And the testing once instead of 2 times every week. Every week we are once instead of 2 times. And our 75 staff members and so you better so many. And then changes kakra eba me person me card ya like and ba me mention me there no as free season ni ba na wie you know. See the league table ni esi here because team ya be change to the squad basically depending on the position on the league table the modern ball league table so they be informal decision say auto player be better ha and also my week and also with me adjust with team say they be team be to be edi but me hear goals for any goals against the crowd first be 8 teams are season no na be premiership no so Liverpool goals for was 85 goals against 33, goal difference of 52. The total me near Manchester City. The goals for near 102. The goals against 35. The goal difference of 67. The total me and Manchester United. The goals for near 66. The goals against 36. Goal difference of 30. The total 9 Chelsea. Goals for near 69. Goals against 54. The goal difference of 15. The Otosu Biomono eliminate Leicester. The goals for near 67. The goals against 41. The goal difference is 26. Spurs in Ediso. The goals for near 61. Goals against 47. Goal difference of 14. Wolves in the South Tosso. Goals for near 51. Against near 40. Goal difference of 11. Your thoughts will be Arsenal, the Arsenal because of position and because Arsenal bet me this is meaning this Arsenal bet said you more me do me top for America the Inter Arsenal goes for near 56 against ni 48 and a difference of 8 into share sign man nyina na fe ni ehwe teams no players o matter ni ehwe say players o matter no ade ebetimi solve mu problems with say defensively no mo very good and also offensively no mo very good and also defensively no mo nye and also offensively no mo nye ni ehwe say ebetumi match here Liverpool the other time make be about Jurgen Klopp the statement be about say we focus on improving his team or what is here now or can dynasty ni oligarch Kevin Kadayara say or can dynasty ni oligarch the same also say the open planet Thiago Alcantara we dan kope no if you Bayern Munich player na kasa so ayana dwen say onya obeko onya akobebo under Klopp but say Barca front so ni me chire person obesa for my back but Adam Lallana wo free ho say Lovren Soko Nathaniel Klein ko omu nyina no ko no yesi a free up about 300,000 pounds per wages every week na free up na wakot last summer wakoto player be friend that defender be friend Seb Van de Beek oton 1.3 million pounds na osakoto osakonya this offer Adrian and the Lenegan Adrian ba more or less like a backup for Alisson. So I say I think it was in the Super Cup. Chelsea no mobile. I think that match Alisson and Timiana go. I think Adrian da go no. Tammy Abraham ko ball the penalty ni say no nti onya that backup no say the be Alisson supra and also odi ho a obetimi ababesi aka mo. And okofa Minamino for 7.25 million pounds in January. Wakofa Kostasibika said the Ayala Kaino for 11.7 million pounds. In terms of players here, clearly you can see say backup goalkeeper wenya. Seba left side of indefense near Kase only any backup bia for the Robertson when you somebody in the form of Chimika so bit me a deputize Amano. Seba Minamino nswa ye yen so ba na chassis na ne body mo na nya de na wasu bia kaka but so hwe matches Liverpool ball of later including last community shield game on boy against Arsenal ono take anima Liverpool ansana obiami and the second one penalties ansana mo Arsenal for winning clearly no so build the team around certain players of course in the absence of the top and as the key players no star players no so ebetimi deputize and also meet about share anymore Manchester City Ayala can Nathanaki 40 million pounds for Bournemouth very solid defender because Laporte player be last season no one more that match player no more expected to the sense say omo ma improvising my player obi anim say obo midfield no and a kobo echiro and it created a lot of problems for City last season because so natural defender and so we improvise will be midfield babe but in Tanaki ya do betu abo Ferran Torres is another fantastic player from Valencia. So yeah, like a last game on mobile Spain game on boy and go into at least the confidence is up there and one just so many signings because who said the team no ebia a prime be braided them into back one and you just to fill gaps or no fill say a one team no so they be going for the way to be acquiring Manchester United for Van de Beek buy and a big signing on year now the other time make be about Van de Beek say you see who the ball now. It said the Bruno Fernandes born on the paper at least similarities be kakra na over fewer touches on the ball or drifting into spaces it may create a lot of chances omutimi goals now we share the season at Ajax kwana or picking 5 assists and or say 8 times for Ajax enti Obabe Boa Manchester midfield no ubenya Fernandes ubenya Nemanja Matic ubenya Pogba any Onono Van de Beek beba ombeba bebo echiro na you see defensively so sure oye far better than Pogba last season United batch so boy that sometimes say they lose concentration ma lose possession no equals Manchester United a lot of goals last season or they apart from the fact say otimi drifting to spaces to me ebetimi possibility to actually goals no defensively so Obabe Boa Matic Mone Bruno Fernandes the other guys from Omwecho I'm say the big one Ebeka Chelsea and make a big one back our chest because big one back our chest because team bought 38 matches last season. And we need 20. I draw 6.
And now because I bought 38 matches, now but you combo matches.
And I'm some
they are trying to knowledge.
No, some make up for emphasis. I know what I'm doing. Make up for emphasis. 38 matches, we need 20. I draw 6, LOC 12, goals for 69, goals against 54, goal difference of 15. Clearly, you can see, say, there is a big problem with the Chelsea defense. Because I will share as many as 69 goals, now consider 54. That means a problem with defense. But from Lampard, I'm not very sure of what he wants to do this time. And that's what bet me. Asher more goals, and also being very skillful and crafty players. So bet me hold on to possess because the more you possess the ball, the less likely you say you be attackable. I don't know, say that option on work because Hakim Ziyech aba, Timo Ben aba, Kahaves aba, Chiwala aba, Silvan so aba, Wakwako fa center Babalan San so aba. Otis been okay beyond the Obesa Colonia, the Obetina Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, last season we finished 33 points behind City. 33 points. City a top player, no. Chelsea a D fifth, no. Point difference was 33 points. Now, anybody do be about Silver. Any introduction with Chelsea, and I whether say obey me about Chelsea because in FM said just next month about 2 months to come, they will be 36 years. And he who's an inferior was Rukaka. But my a little bit of statistics. Near say I do bet me about 9 Champions League matches last season. PSG and moment we do final Champions League final. No, you so consider 4 goals. Consider 4 goals. Say as a defender, no, bro, Bobby no goals shape PSG no 4. You see, no follow Virgil van Dijk in quantity consider 2 goals, and Varane also consider 3 goals. That is all shares up defenders being Sabo Mudia, Van Dijk, Varane, or no Tosso third, even at his age. I say only 6 defenders or more higher area dual success. Champions League no SN. Sebastian ye crossball ni ingredient pinballer. 6 defenders play no move Champions League boy 6 defenders play and no move success SN. Obi ask him say Chelsea last season. Problem at Chelsea nya ba ko pa ne say yeah ball free kicks, yeah ball corner kicks. It was a very, very, very difficult situation for Chelsea. Christensen, Kezuma, Tomori, Rudiger, they were all suspect. As we created, they were all suspect. They are not so able to be there. But you see, he was also in the top 10 for most passes and passing accuracy. Apart from say, the area ability also now or you're defensively aware and so or you're very good passer of the ball from defense to midfield to attack. And he brings a lot to the Chelsea team. Maybe want to say more positive than the age no kwan for everyone. Then you share Arsenal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. No, Obeko Onko, but at least Omunya successes lately were decided for better than Arsenal. Ama say Omakopa William Saliba, central defender be William Saliba, and I artist Gabriel Magalhaes and so ewo na William the free Chelsea and so call echo Arsenal say Yakasa and now Omako so creative midfield omope Ayala nipa Husamowa omope seriously so baba but Ceballos so likely so baba Johnny Tono so kakra no so also kakra so also where his weakness was last season also ebo modern say obetimi asolve na Ayala so on Casper no make Casper kakra because of money why be frugal also
careful na Mourinho disciple ba ko manage
okay wakofa madoreti aba but we're losing the tournament to Benfica
yeah
enti Spurs almost signing this season me who so my any major signing be at said the Becca say it be a strategic signing City aye Liverpool aye Chelsea aye maybe Arsenal aye or more I keep low profile so let's wait and see more on the offers or but league a year England no a idea Eddie
how would
Eddie and I want to be doing so a idea the defense no so enya de ketwa Now you are my statistics, but so share. The last the last body answer near course up format was Leeds United Nigeria. From then on, no, Manchester United I did 13 times. Almost 92-93, 93-94 no. There was a break in my Blackburn Rovers VG. And some almost out twice so I did GBA no matter 13. Chelsea I did it 5 times. First one under Mourinho only 2004-2005. Only 2005-2006. There was a break game. And some almost 2009-2010 and Echo. Arsenal 3 times. Only 97-98. 2001-2002, 2003-2004. The Blackburn Rovers, Leicester City, Liverpool. Eji Omodiano 2019-2020. And to Usha, idea passes Sawojia. And likely to be a defender. One of the major reasons that Mourinho features in it was the third year case. Obi anim so about the first year no. And yes, it be to be successful to be a second year. Everybody was expecting to say Obi to be as Akoso. And it is about the quality of managers in world premiership. And the fact that teams in at least no. I don't say they are supported by music club. Either they are supported by a country, or they are supported by a rich person, or they are supported by an oligarch. And to this season, Saudi, apart from seeing who said they will see ball, and they said they will say Esha Onyemano. Players are what the next season trust other teams will bet me as Aquacoto. Say yeah, equally good players, but at least bet me Aquato players are. Bet me a match also they say they be to beat the next competition. But my main fa ade wo ntwam na me kade nti a me feel say Liverpool omuntimi enyi league ni this time me kwa Ma City. You see a ball league no e ma Kobe Sati a project restart ni buy no. Obubusa club about atmosphere or Anfield. Nyeti do can say the influence and impact is much bigger than our thought. They say ukodu Anfield now ukoni Liverpool ko bola. Enipa na ejina ho no na this is Anfield the one kwa no nobody Barcelona ho enipa kwa na ho no ni ye omo even before we run stadium kwa no sa omo guard omo be ye for team bus no kwa zana bus ni be free be o kwa ba be real stadium kwa no na one kasa na ye defeat dada Pep nso ka the same thing about Etihad but so share after Sunny men nyina course ma season no yes besatia Liverpool na omo modimbo after project restart no away from about 6 teams. Manchester City bought 10 games after project restart no goal difference of 30 have 24 points out of the 10 games on boy. Manchester United bought 9 games goal difference of 16 and have 21 points. Southampton bought 9 games goal difference of 8 and 18 points. Tottenham about 9 games, goal difference of 7, almost points of 18. Chelsea about 9 games, goal difference of 3. Re-emphasizing almost defensive frailties almost one, and almost points of 18. But Liverpool about 9, goal difference of 7, and had 17 points. It clearly tells you say, apart from say teams need the work quality material and maybe a manager no. To some extent, no, I'm not for argument in say Liverpool so to could do that pinnacle and that height could do mostly because they had the 12 person on the field, which is almost fans. No, my main for the top for and to us. We did say City beating about the league, no. Okay, City Gia Liverpool beat second, Chelsea beat also third, Manchester United beat also fourth. Na Arsenal also fit. Me can't Manchester fourth. Arsenal fit. Okay. I don't know.
Heavy Clemente and what in Kano. For information Emra. Ye kaya man for say when him say in Show FM. You could write in the Premiership right. I timi ya commentary. Timi ka ho asem. Esa to e ho road shows. Eti nyame ya aduma. And then you know yeah the Liverpool game against Leeds United. Mbesa so bad. Liverpool against Leeds United. 4:30 sharp. You better not be 4:20. Then the pre-game analysis now bro. If you hear the Asaka Abam games about to be a Fulham against Arsenal, Crystal Palace against Southampton, Liverpool Leeds United 4:30, and only coming match of the day Edemawo, West Ham United against Newcastle, Nyame Aduma Echina, West Bromwich Albion against Leicester City, Tottenham Hotspur against Everton. Ningina won 7 ubeti media ba. Why energy league no teams by and making into the top 4 bracket. Friday Chabe 03220 83581 03220 83582 03220 83583 03220 83584. Nhyira 104.5 FM. Now so what the okay. Okay, let me say. Hello.
Hello, PJ. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Mpacho midindi akwisa sante mkasa fi de nhyɛso bi.
Okay, akwasi yankwa.
Afi de mididi sɛ lipufa afi na PJ de I can say money adwuma pa. Sa wasamba multimedia bill. Ebesro enko kaya na minhira. De chia yara nso oyi adwuma yɛda na se. We thank.
Yes, so yɛda se. Hello.
Hello?
Mebato udini baby afefi.
Mebato me dia ne Big Bernard Amoni am di here me.
Oh, Big Bernard Amoni a odi hian. So ye know crofom la bi be hwe ya be hwe me condition ma me. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Mebato udini baby afefi yankwa.
Same to what you want from kwanta. Top one say ne be say ni me de Man City bet na sa Arabeji. Na Liverpool tosu 2. Chelsea bet tosu Arsenal. Chelsea bet tosu 3 Arsenal tosu 4. Na man you are tosu 5. That's his position now Spurs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Me ba to odin me bia free.
Pacho me din di Ofori Gabi. Me ka say free Accra Adenta.
Okay, Ofori yankwa.
Yeah. I feel Premier League in the Liverpool better defender league in the view because we share performance now. To me say other last season e kwa nimpa in this season so they share Liverpool with me as the league no. But top four no Liverpool, Man United, Man City and Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea and they wait about top four.
Okay, yeah that's it. Hello.
Hello PJ.
Yes, yeah, but when
Pastor now Finio, good morning.
Good morning, madam. Let's say.
Eradia don't PJ me we pa.
Yankwa.
PJ, mama fa we fi the case so na mention Mr. Baden. Director Metria of Arsenal David Go, United States, Metria Peninfo pa. Ayala Metria of PJ. I said we are so excited say per players are Chelsea after Chelsea the league. PJ for any day to go. And next 12 September 2020. Next year, you don't have a social body on the fact. Chelsea fine, what top players know all right. But in this I say, coach Bena, every coach is our players, Manager, we shouldn't forget say Frank Lampard. And a Frank Lampard team now pair what Frank Lampard did last season, and transfer Frank Lampard this year in your position, Papa Dia will league in my team. The first the first form in Manchester City, every league, Liverpool, second. The team, Manchester United, you third. Tottenham Hotspur, fourth. Faith in state in seventh. Wolverhampton was Chelsea Arsenal or Manchester Home Far. Now, my race is Carlo Ancelotti. So, whichever team now was now. PJ, that's it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Hello.
Hello.
About your dinner, baby, free.
Mr. Moses Entry, popularly known as PJ Mose. What is the problem? I didn't mean that better so nothing has been still on course. My brother-in-law, me my channel for PJ.
Dr. Kewoji Ajoso.
And I say, okay, my kind of the premier player better up here now. We did say, okay, players are Chelsea after that. If you are Chelsea, better leg no. Now, I'm can Liverpool for now when you are present. When we are from everything, normal leg in it. Okay. Yebe really gina kwa no performance stress nya dia na o metia aye de ato aso nya maintain league no pide ma go ti be championship association fo nyina me da se.
Okay. Hello. Okay, I'm say you lose.
Yaza.
Hello.
Ije.
Yaza.
Danko ni me do adu ni.
Okay, Danko yankwa.
Yeah. Na ya the one say amafo do mani asi Chelsea for ya so sa. League dey Chelsea beje. Na Liverpool atoso mienu, na Man City atoso miensa, na Tottenham atoso 9, Manchester baby 8. I lead long no so down quick maka bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. For your trouble. Yeah, the friend the kind of abana we intimi emfa ebi enka ho. Yeah, be say so biem emrepam. Daniel Nana Kwame Dankwa ninta odi e the OC Sapon. Or a Greater Accra Regional Circles Council chairman, or also a first vice chairman for National Circles Council for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, or also a former management member for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Still vying to be a member of the management team under Nana Yao Amponsa. Eric Kwame Kakari, and so a communications director for Ashanti Go Sporting Club. Kwame, what do you know? We are head of communications, director of communications, and a communications manager. Communication manager. It's an Amudi and Abby.
Say dear, Nhyira FM, Edin Yesi Ogana, and we are here for neighbor Bia, Tower Bubuano, and phone Bia, Yedin Yabesi Bia, and Manu phone so. Nhyira over testy NF, Ako 8787, Yaveto 15 pesos per Udem, near Kwasu Bia, Yedbem Manu phone so. See a good Yamonsem, a Jadiamonsem, and Nijidiamonsem, and I knew Biano, Yedibro, some procra.
Pakumasido and Pakumasida, Nhyira 104.5 FM, one number one account radio station, and a Royal Care Clinic. I can't Royal Care Clinic. I go for Pakum capsules, a meme grab a swimming cancer, a breakfast say, there was sitting in I did you. Yes, oh, Yana saw before phone. No more with your videos, Mabako, Asaniako, 0548 356220, 0548 356220. No idea dance here. A pen of a book. A young tour, and I said, would the bed. And I saw the enemy. I rinse them up for Pakum capsules. We are weighing in area. A Chedian dorsal. A Chedian will be a flash screen TV, tabletop fridge, fan, iron, kettle, blender, mobile phones, multi TV digibox, and in a dish and gas account. Now, what are you weighing in area? Chedian will be brain at bone. Yes, so you answer one more send the video. I call 0548 356220. And more rain says, my back. Pakum capsules.
It's here for.
Live, our crowd was 94.7. Michael, I'll be a name. I tip Manchester United. Sorry, I tip Manchester City to win the Premier League. Liverpool second, Chelsea third, Arsenal fourth. Manchester United fifth, and Tottenham sixth. Everton seventh, Wolves eighth. Aubameyang to win the Goal King. Calvin De Bruyne to win the Premier League Player of the Year. Fulham, Aston Villa, and Brighton to be relegated. Guardiola Coach of the Year. Arsenal and Fulham have only met on the opening day once previously in the league, with Arsenal coming from behind to beat Fulham 2-1 in 2007-2008 season. Michael Baby Onema and the passy we to through Cheba 4 and so our Spice FM our Takrade on to 80 so also I'm a Chelsea fan but looking forward to see how Leeds United will play their magnificent attacking tactics this season. Go Chelsea and Leeds. Banana Danubian Fashion Center or more branch manager and what do we have about Yamka Homani so Yanni former administrative manager for Kumasi Asante Kotoko and now deputy manager for GNPC Mr. Benjamin T and Nene Kwakasa. Mr. Benjamin T Yamwachi Bench FM so
it is me also.
Now when I'm to say
Yamiado now sir
Mumpa Bunti MCBDA now Mr. Benjamin T Kwayamwe corporate governance mo amasua de mo amakon school mo amosa practice e die nti na bia well accomplished personalities in their field of endeavors. Ebi adwuma bi omo ye etumpon on business etumpon. But for ye what the traditional clubs bi say has ebi akotoko ebi abi ana say bi 11 wise bi ema omo a na sa for no entimi replicate sasa omanya our other fields no e de entina masade no etan hoyi
Meka say your analogy is a little bit subjective in the sense that over 2010 to 2013, I don't think say Obeka said the then board of directors Nhyira FM. You know, I don't know where you are coming from, but I think we'll start from that side. Ebimuba Omunye successful with their rich experience and whatever. Say yeka say Obinye successful la yenhwe ne tenor. Not that I'm using Kotoko as an example. Not that Obaye no still no eka edaho. Ye still eda Kotokoka. But yes, yenhwe ne tenor the katena time obetna hono. Eniamo ye ampeniampa ote ekaso. Anaso de kani bisa beka ho. De kanu kwa ne beka ho a ye osi ye hwe eniama a oyeye ye quantify ye value a wode ekanu ene niama ode ye gu ho no kaboma ede hin na ye egbebura na ye negative. That is what we have to look at. But the any try so be aba now with an experience ne the okanina no when timi sala no wanya successful a subjective kakra. And to the discussion no unless say you call that area, that is where I make a very deep and in-depth analysis.
But now you're hearing say most often than not, no, you say 1 or 2 be Dr. Sapontena, you know, who the number of sponsors for the buy a cow better so Ujad, a Sika crowd, Kotoko, Futum. You say, I couldn't be from here, but most often than not, no, Dodona Eba or Muntimiachi.
If I had that in mind and coming back this area, but to start, they met me and can say, Debia and ye bar a canada hono, eso. And it's a one you're very careful. Bibia plans bia or the bebe biano issues beba untiming handle. For instance, when Dr. Sapon took over, the then finance manager that was a large in this administration. When they catch and some brilliant information on our finances, using a car. In accounting, them so move for something current and non-current expenditure as a BB. Say I'm not a finance person, but a Canada mummy, dear Yehiano, CCR, and a dear a care over dachi ubetia. We got a car here in CCR, and they present my Dr. Sapon. At that time, it was 1.5 million Ghana. I have the handing, just handing over notes. I did it, so I have it. It was about 1.5 million Ghana cedis. Not knowing, said there were future a car, a Google where was it here. When Dr. Sapon took over, at the time now, about May, said the audited account was June that year. Auditors near at a unit in a care daho. Any a kind na hono, I was 3.1 million Ghana, 31 billion, or by no 2 months. And to say, there, say, a coway arbitrary and near amount. Now they are your forecast, so they are your plan. Unim say, see now, baby. Now all of a sudden, over 16 billion, and now 1.6 as I count within 2 months, abra, now unima. PK, a bit put or plans or vision or be behind to this array. And these are one of the things your finances, how you're managing on. A bit me a sell program when my own is successful. Because or start here and a Kesben a car if you call to buy. That time I'm sending about 5 points something, I forgot them, 5.7 billion. And no a bed in which you or the court you really 1 year protocol. The access, the 5 favor to so, you better your access. You know, so go back to Kesben, Cosreno, and in negotiate, catch and say, Afibia every month, member of 5,000 cities. Namedi atikano so semi-tone player kakra menya maybe I'm the 10% bad so and the PJ what plan say be ameba no me be structures we ama Kumasi Asante Kotoko eka we abeda ho plans awaye ni na no eka no be say no and your finances na make and these are some of the things your finances your more ba ebedi club ni enhu ne kra ewo na afi asel plans na and at two yeah yes so as supporters the individually yepe a different from the only the club no ono so pe at times yeah na de bia na e good say any supporters be share near discussing who how any club ne beko. But once you are a leader, you have to be strong and see direction of the club. One of Dr. Sapon's policy, no fee say beboa club, no, and then they say church him a tonaton, which people do not understand. But you cannot run a club without tonaton. Dr. Sapon free no, why they run a club now on ton player? But after that time, his vision was that you free say Beji Africa in 10 years. Because you ain't for 1 year, ain't for 2 years, ain't for 3 years, and Africa. And you're possible. Dr. Sapon free 2013, 7 years in ye, Yaji Africa na India Africa. Africa Geno ye planning. A lot of capital injection. Ofa TP Mazimbe, they took 10 years before they got to that level. I know Mojeji Africa to us. And that was the model we had wanted to use. Because players, I was all on unya capital injection. Uye kobe be now to me far because in Ghanaian players, I'm telling you, using Ghanaian, I'm being honest, using Ghanaian players and Saudi Omunkwabeji Africa no. PJ, and even Egypt recruit from outside. And Egypt is way ahead of us when it comes to football. Tell me, African country, Awaji Africa, or do Onunkwani players, now. And these were the things no per se, oh yeah, but supporters, kakra, ebi musu influence you more, ama oman teni amase. And to ushe sa ama we ya ayadia edikotokonya. And it's not a matter of this policy we did not tell them. We told them, but the omu peno is different from the ope. Because now you say, "Neya one toko players, one to one, I'll be Africa." It's not true. No club can work without selling players. And these are some of the things here. And now we are not so free honuma. PJ, you're not successful because media is also another factor. What the media see, even though moya one of the guys are mubuayen ema ye the club no tumpon. But I'm paying bebre nyama as managers when we are managing a club no. It's different from how media people see it. And maybe whatever platform I'm I always pray say a media person should come and be a management member or a director of a club. Ombe who say the eternal radio so kano is different from say the yehuno whilst you radio. And Sanyama will so distract people leading the club. No matter how we are successful. Let me give you an example. For instance, the chief executive of GMPC. The board decided no at a final. But when you come to Kotoko, the only board be decided no. The media can put pressure on you. I'm a better supporters stream. I'm a any effects. A bit me pushy or direction they are to be able for. A idea ma club no yentimi successful. And when it comes to our recruitments, I'll give you an example. The biano, the bia me my ejuma channel. That's area and I'm the example. When KK Sapon came to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, he and his board of directors did a lot of capital injections in terms of recruitment. But they do recruitment to share in sa. The way I recruitment in Korean and Wayne. And you know, say or the 300,000 Ghana cedis a year recruitment. Me the 300,000 cedis a year projects for Adakojachi. The first half of the season, no recruitment I'm here in the Kotoko relegation. I have to push all majority of the players away. And so Sikana and I also me dikoya Adakojachi no. Me sa kofa e dikoye new recruitment. Say the club ni binya baby papa ejina. No matter how successful you are, what planning, okase ubeye say na sa ade we be sia. No matter how ebemo are you confused, e kana wo yes and ka me ye we na me di atimeka so no obesa akofa ka foforo abaka ho. PJ, these are some of the areas if we say a D club no enya, and going forward we need to understand say the adwuma share directors in sa ni if we say team no ye ni di echi e wo say ye support your omo ye omo na e directors omunim. Let's allow them to do their work. I believe it's a saniama na ema directors ba ema omo ye unsuccessful no and few okra esobeti because they be ema omo ye confused. The power of media is very strong. And no so one you very firm osha your time any media nya issues because you decided you said this is our direction in free media. That is why any media nya issues no. We decided that we won't allow any media person to take to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. We had issues with them, but I don't think we regretted because we knew the direction near the club. Unfortunately, it got to a point the Papa Neka said, Ojai. On any reasons you see Ojai. And the PJ say, Ebeshe at the country directors and you're successful. When you did Jumashaw Munsa, these are some of the things the directors in Ninya.
Okay. Mr. Benitia Dase, Ayala ne Nana Kwame Dankwa so omuchiao.
Hey, almost studio.
Omwa.
Mejomo so far.
Okay. Beninti Enso, your former administrative manager for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and now deputy manager for Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. Daniel Nana Kwame Dankwa Osi Sapon. You have 28 minutes now.
What the Kahana is?
What the Kahana 11:58. I had 2 minutes. I'm as good money. I don't get to
what time now when you mean
11:30.
Ah, okay, maybe they need 30.
Yeah, we saw no day you man.
I had a minute. I'm busy.
Your studio time, huh?
Oh, okay. And they just look at the doors.
Oh, they're quite
okay. Me da say, I'm in chat here for me check.
And then the idea about man listen. And no, I'm for and
no, me catch it here for what I say, in fact, need the money, need the seno. And post a menya listen be crampoa. I don't have the authority and the permission to say it. And you're proper. Emma Nanaya Wamponsano CEO no. Now but transina or dinko more at public and wait to be in a bakery review. Nasa de make kind of question pepe. There be a man in hene or no nay, dear Jumana Shenesa. And the hear support. And no, I'm a catch of the listener circulating. And the medimani so I call Bosso baby a many kitamino. Said the Ayala can and run, bear 3 billion, likely. But the you grab the powers that be can decide a book and I'm kind of just it's important that you be jam on no my own juma. Almost the baby are near my support. by paper no you try say before the adwuma be show bin sakra na started to do ho to say ye encourage ana me say me bisa kan say minimo ara so obu a office amfa na fom nti oso bomofo na ne gire because only ebo wudi di anke ye e bibia du a oso nya opportunity a oso so enjoy and so ne ye kobo obi di pa na man for start ye na ko ombeki ka ho nsem sa but like Benintika and at all times I believe we say we a leader na unim the opposite we are we explain reasons but also we firm now do next see form say we na me person me especially say opposite we achieve bibi and say what targeter I want to me two target no we answerable to be there then I was to me convincing Crawford and say these are the people I believe when giving me the opportunity no and I'm me kwanya me no me adwuma no me achieve the set target and you hu ne sa agwazi meden chia kese for national secretary ma ho e dey breast supporters nyina
Christopher Demenya
na bibi na sini kwan ko no angasa be pese one supporters kra be kasa na so e bia minimara ye ka say ya bibia betimi asi ba wa mampo a britia wo mo betene nka na ne wo mu ne se enura Chema Demenya ene Kotoko CEO na ya Amponsa and myself and Jimatek nhyiamu na nhyiamu ne koye no CEO ene tonsa frɛ NCC chairman ne Jimatek a ye consultants na supporters mobilization over say previous management in NCC and Jimatek ayen together with club no headline sponsors MTN MIA Baben Kroma supporters mobilization database in Yashasia they be any catch supporters almost 90% completer akasa ye betimi apa odwumade no hontuma no mu ana santimera e direction for buyer ne be hia say ye betwentwen ye no masse na direction for na mpanifo efa no yetimi akobri for mti board ba ye board ma yaso te se brepam on beton safre no matie hye na yaye no eche no meti se enchepi om de CEO beba na sa adwuma ne ye CEO ni supporters na be ze adwuma no enti na ya oba ye sems no nya abre up and down so for money management until it appears say most of the jobs no ono akasa na okọ up and down ti ama break akra ani adaje nheda mamu to tumpenifon kama enra ene bi share secretariat na Jimatek for a PowerPoint presentation edema CEO and she share from day one to enra na ishia no na I must say CEO was impressed with arrangement I so far na fortunately for the family no line na previous management ni Jimatek ni NCC namo no CEO a oba foforo so ne die so and so dimutinti my pa but the only difference approach enti enu enche mu no koye say adwumapa enti brepam ono so ne management team no e be hwe kwan on be fa so na nyina ye hu kwan papa e be fa so aboa amasa supporters registration yetimi aye enti at this point ye make check on supporters ne say dey bia na ye hye ombo enye se ye ka kire om so oba che wadware na ne ho asiesie en yiyem enu ahwe CEO na angle ofiba na enu ana me gini die pa enu ana me gini die pa
die na ye ma gini
do se ye hye dwumadi na ase ye yedu ba bia ye nim se ye wia ne sa enu ana input o make ye o me hu say indeed o commercial person ampa o ti de o ye na se na ne plans anu wa hye e the same supporters registration no ye nyina hu say board of directors no choose the right person for the CEO job for Kotoko. Who say oh deep. Or see project ni kama the more you know you can see a pound to man na ebetimi aye. But there are fundamental issues be a amuru afi ho munya hweye. Ye sha se ebeko. But onu looking at the sustainability of the whole project say oye projections na or expect say be a the next 1 year also nya this out of the exercise no also making sure say ampa arane. And there are one or two things we are yaya de pa na obehye kina ama Kotoko etimi de ye na opese oje bibi to ho say enye project because per the presentation Jimatek here no this exercise ya start be paying but because of challenges be enya ye no ye ya dadwene hu say na problem no ye ni nkomo but okita sa problems no enti o see kan nyina sie ni say de be ya echina mpo say oni ho a whoever will be taking over from him no e be ye foundation bi a betimi abuild on it intimacy supporters ni say ye be cause why mobilization no okay kan National Circus Council your constitutional article 2 about aims and objectives 2.2 was it the National Circus Council to organize, governance and maintain the supporters circus in brackets in Ghana and abroad to offer genuine support to Kumasi Asante Kotoko Sporting Club. And the circus motherboard ni ejumedi kese bako se be make sure be mobilize supporters no achiti ni benche tete no a constitution pen for yedi jae Kotoko circus yeti no late 70s and early 80s mo de be gina ye a Kotoko chairman for pen for say ya bawua any sims confirmation samu edi mu tintimban and a circus ebenya recognition a ukofi kese mu at all times na Kotoko pen for a pemso nyansa mu yi omo no na circus representation na sa champion for yedi two way sata ma ye sa che na abefun fidia na ene wiase a global village na cheda eni ho Facebook ne Twitter ne WhatsApp ne na ne bi ni ho ente ne ye bi aba no amanfo yusu IT no awokwan bebre so a o se de mfaso so bre ente ye boy homodi bi ase eni say nuanu mo nim de wa IT mu ni nyina be come together ne afom ku no baako na ye botai ne eni suade ho aye baako na yetimi this database Chema Christopher Demenya ewo ne manifesto a oba bi dia de o kan sem bi kire supporters se moto aba ma me na me ba anya hwe kra no Kotoko supporters o se me nya database a ye de be ma club no class bebe wa ewiase a ukọ Europe a Africa ha class bebe use numbers e di nya big sponsorship de run club no ene Kotoko wohwe yekọ animani abayechi no it is because yentimi maximize the support base ni ye but with the numbers I won na ye claim 8 million so yenya 1 million pe na se eyade a me committed said ye no mu so mu bia pije every month or annually afibia no so bia kura my 5 Ghana cedis PJ, you can imagine Sika bit generate out of that. Aside sponsorship, aside player sales, aside gate proceeds, aside a new marketing kitia club ni bit media ba. And it's important that you be so na yaye. Abra board no epa na ya wamponsa. I think on the 7th August. Na omde no coach Santimara, National Circus Chairman Christopher Demenya, and myself in your opportunity di omochi no omko Santimara ho. Na bread chairman eche opemso no onni di nkomo obo na baso na osa taxi ni se osre no anko bobo Kotoko supporters e wo wiase nyina no ma no fantai board nechi chairman e ba be di ade na sa plans no but osa tifi Asantemawura no na je se ama ahye ni plan sonko enti me no can say National Circus Council I am back on massive mobilization and reorganization of our circus asabia me no can say okonkro so many producers Eddie Nkomo ma omo so far and I'm more yet two. I remember me no nyina senior Shamu mame ye o abam na ye drew abam a eja ye kopa bibi kakaka ya no na ye information center and say ye timi fair Kotoko supporters no mu ni Nkomo wo ho bi wo ye dance ni within 20 minutes a year announcement to information center no enipa be board dompem e wo mo de backgrounds no na enya asem ketwa chese ni pado duo ebaye enye honko yefi ho yesade ani kire nyancheniase kwa meba ho nyancheniase yekodwa Asante protocols of NCC ne hukafo Asante film ekoye na yi corona ekoye yi o munsa corona na opani kwasikuma a oti Kotoko ofiri ho so yakika ya dwisi mu ya announcement wo eye na sesa information center and also within 30 minutes enipa be board dompem and also na wo ho amopani kwasikuma na busua pani nde ena ye no vice chairman e wo ko nimu ai na nyenche ni aso mo kra de tu ye nim se opani kwasikuma ne na omusie no aye basa anti omo stress ye mehwenye mo National Circus Council agiatum say yebe konya kosiesie ne kama ami atiko ni bi wo ha nei edom apie kro no ho enya agro sabre ukọ me sure say mo am Facebook that ukọ Facebook page that's right uhwe enema supporters so for yetimi organize you ukọ ba bi ti se ntonso ukọ ba bi ti se seviyo so sevin sare so sevi body sevi buako enkro ni doso your former supporters groups now with this mobilization. Oma fan to say the Bribia, and Obeka Herbert Mensa by within 99 more, Sa or Shubon a piano, and for near that is here ASFE. Who say bro have original chairman, Inyan, or Nankasa no Mukoye meeting. Yeah, yati new group in the say if you want to make a year, say if baby I throw Baku, Body, Drabo so, a Sam. Elu krum ena ensuo krum ho nyina ye new groups aya form sabra asankragwa de ohu ayisu sisi aya asankragwa group a omo so apege omo ho so na be 3 weeks ni de da so ya the same asankragwa retired army officer onu free soldier adwuma mu akotena fie otisi this mobilization papa ya fato ne ho so ama watimi mobilize supporters within 3 weeks of my membership in 150. Just last week I'm organize a float Sunday morning they call Cape Fit. Am I regional executive of Western region or say usumo as ko kosra omo and the NCC no I ready ya nin krofo din komo oko NCC Facebook page and a Twitter handle ya they all the regional coordinators any regional chairman omo numbers egu ho oko within your area no share regional follow and I just call the number make say me bobo of day so e be confusion krofo but say oko na kra producer kra be bo am a obetimi dia to Facebook also no so be hu say ya ye ne kama region bi aba greater Accra me na me da no me number ho enti within greater Accra catchment area contact me assist you e be first we bie ene me ni brenti anka me come me nkrata mu a me your opportunity e wo sister station wo Nkran Asempa FM any kwadwo mensa mo shosho program me we ya me jam me number to on page greater Accra kwa wo hwe me diary mu a numbers be gu mu nyina me de ma highlight ni nyina important mo greater Accra o ma contact me aye bie circles wo ya adopt Pentecost for a strategy bia o mo de mobilization na interesting and Pentecost asafo enim o membership around 3.3 million every 3 months a month be an omo review ehwe members sebi omo free mu ehwe nkrofofofo ya wo mu edi omo ba eniti no mesre kodoko supporters say this mobilization exercise no board no ekita eniswade hunu kese especially that na santimeru adema omo woni si odidi nkomo a omie ni nema ni so nkyira wo yie ba nkomo kakra oni yedi no si etimi organize ye hu yie ye man ho enetia wa bi ye se bi no ma hyase ye de ben wo mo se fro say me mo ho kura ni din ye so mo ye but o mo hyase se kotokodi a me bibia twamani so amahu a o ma to ni din prefab e hyase wa da ko ja cha within short period of time and sakaye beba kotoko bobo kwenu yen support ye board no na yen support na ya wamponsa na ye nisu ade hu ni empa bo na e bibia infantile na chi na I believe say with that ni betimi aye enei supporters nkoso mo abo mo because CEO say me fan chiem fi no ho no anka ode ma me no say as first vice chairman ode ma me ne chairman Christopher say enye so obu supporters animtia e bre na ma nafa na o ye hyehyeye se to kra na obeto the whole Ghana non supporters nya direct interactions no hu de yepe ene de yehwehwe wase onu kwa ne board ntimi rane kotoko onim say opportunity no nya ode be som enkrofo e wo out there e wonim de no look at yenu akwadwo dimensa CEO for data bank and no have fantastic interview ane ne ye ena no pay yenu abenenti ene omina corporate world o me kotokofo etinimdi omuso wo ombetimi di aboa club no if you don't get closer to them, how do you expect them to also bring on board almost there? And such people, no, you can only approach them in a way they can also contribute. Obetime instructing the bankers. Say every month, Mundi taxes so much from my account to Kotoko. But one man who how important any panel so ya. A better than on so here so this cabro. And now I'm ponsa say. Memfa konya yesu ma supporters nti say enura no timinya akwan ene yehia ye ehwe database arrangement aye na ebritia wai mu a nyame boa no timi form ni management ni wia obekwa probo wo no fo ape na CEO se me ba ho enti oni e ba bihia enti ye mo ehomode na ye prepare ye hunsie na ba ni bom se CEO se ne ordinary kire eastern part of Ghana na nye se okwa bo bekose de nanado e court se bono ne importem no ne ya arrange amano okwa obetime share groups no say ekwa e be fa so ya ndie be no so you will decide say ne oba Eastern region or Frikadia or Kwabemu, Ufrabemu or Ko Oda, Ufioda or Kwa Samankesi, Ufasamankesi or Koha or Nenitsa Huswa. Now with Timini supporters a share. Na de daya kuma pronso no wetimi ayama ya ofo say ye important part of the family also ni Asia ne to tie no wantimi say supporters ni say adwuma ne de so yanka ye humum na kotoko supporters nso so for once saa wetimi wa kam yes ye nipa entibenya issues but yen just yen nyini ntrasa na yen hwe kotoko nkan kwa no about your individual interest. It should be the interest of the club. And my first open so ni so adi hu ana ni nyansa mo power body Dr. Chenso so enyesu ehunu bebre ewo adwuma na obeye na mfem yense ne munti moving forward no me gide so betimi guide the rest of the board a omo so abam Africa na ebinim aba menim se nana nkobia hene so nana da roma wonye opportunity asevo ewo board so be mpre ana mpensa nana so osu ehunu alaji lamin so yenuanom ebia for the first time on board so no ebia from a distance no on the board members in supporters. They are all supporters of the club. And untino ya gidi yes almost so be bisronko a said they now pese enim defo bi mfa corporate governance said they are more successful individually or businesses mo yentimi famra kotoko ne nkamum na abra omo brebe so safe de omo so asom na omo ekono yenya bibi di aka omo yenya bibi di aka se board di ba ade omo so di beja ye enti pije me ma me kasa nya tenten na me mfa twetwe tiefo aso ebre sem ye be ba bonten kakra na mpempe di ade ehia se be mobilize ye ho yo various areas sabra me no ka say national and circus council communication team na share o menshia ye orientation amawo na how am so be kwa abontene aboa ameya project this club e tie board na chi e nyina ya sede enti obi bia sorry na onfa ne ho nsem potemo awo sa santimamo ewo kumase ne potem circus ne bebre ho ebi so akofom enti empeja ne nyina ne ku ne timinya strong ne no na ebema kotoko etimi ade ne ho eno na ebema kotoko etimi de ho atoto clubs bi wo abibre mu ha ye sha tesi Aja African Cup on 2 occasions na ebi mo kra omo menyen ela alimuna de ne o ba na be compare on the field achievement and of the field achievement in terms of infrastructure ye me omo e na bi ye fere but said na benintika no opani bi aba e no o pepa. But because of your challenges in kitchen bintu no it may divert your attention but you but together see ebeboa the person your contribution monthly and quarterly and now say yearly no it will go a long way to help the border almost kakra on the best opportunity na kotoko team fan into my prefer. All right, Daniel Nana Kwame Dankwa OC Sapon ena watin in Kano was a good morning senior. I'm listening to the show from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Jose will win the league this season. Tiawa, Honorable Prince, and a way by was the Kuma Puma Apimba Group is buying football launcher for Kotoko at a cost of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Kuma Pim Group has 1,000 supporters on 6 different groups, including Ladies Club, and also Honorable Prince Koya and Sadiwi, Asaso Ewramu. Okay, obviously PJ, this is Biggie. Marcus Barbering Saloon at Stadium YF Street. Almost on my offer, see me yeti program now. Biggie or see Marcus Barbering Saloon or Stadium YF Street and Marcus Barbering Saloon. Never corner yeti or Biggie. I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to be a Kriana. Maybe every one. Okay, and I also at the Atamofi Pankrono on so at the man a good Mumina so it's Atamofi or Kwaji Mr. Ferry Tommy Lee on also the match and one shell Pankrono no so 80 Shui. And Kakari as I graph on the floor to that Facebook or to pass and graph. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, Nhyira 104.5 FM, your Facebook at them, your Twitter here at Nhyira 1045 FM, Instagram at Nhyira 104.5 FM, YouTube, and so Nhyira TV. Kwad Kakari, as God mutu say. What day? Okay. Boy, come Kakari. Na yamfa dia camera. Yeah. Moses, I'm say the only say Ashanti good. No, madam Kwani. Say you decide to say you Africa. Enti bebia ya miemu ye sikasem aye pompom fe dawo aye deko ya budget we am about approve am you playing body no em say ya players ni bi kwan enu ne hunu na supporters no but me ka to say emani hunu na omo
because empano yamfa nwanko ho nti omo ayeje omo kwan ne nim de na asi so anti ayeje omo kwan na omo ayedo omo ba no ehu kra so omo ko no nti omo ko makoma to ye omo yam na se nyame boa na kasa na obi kwan se yemo football team na ya hyehye wo ho no
enti wa na mo de omo ba
yakofa Steve Bento from Dwarfs yo makenu yede ni Liberty ne bai ya wa no ho Nathaniel Samoa or Hans Kofi or yakofa about 4 player from GMG Academy baby ana Martin Kujo no ana ya so ho adwuma nyansi ba yeguso enim se ebe enti yedu mu beka omo abagna mo ne kwadwa mo akon Moscow fin kruma mo yedo mbeka mo na yede kwa Africa enim se Africa na yeko ne yankugu obo asema anim ase yeko ne yede nkunim de aba enti ye supporters no mnya gide we mu na few ones bia omo personal interest enti omo pese omo ya na da bia negative stories nkwa no de ba no omo nyina omo nya no omo meka ho ye ne champion because champion o twum ta team no ye dey man for 54 years for ne kro egusu ne ye ntwa yo ne abere 50 nim enti omo enyi ni se team no champion na run no di ni sika run enti umpo champ na run team no enti omo for omo pa ebo no omo bibia anta ya chine kwa Africa no na baby akokodu last season no we fancy say ya ni CEO ni management any board no ye no ye betwa mu ho
okay Kwame Kakari alias Kwame Brazil on director of communications for Ashanti Gold Sporting Club and watching Kano or say 54 years they have my champion we dem twa for mpo na nga beso be 50 mu na mo de mo ti na mo ye mo tete ba bi etoto bo eba park ne so ala fa benediction bra na ye ma tie from dem 1-2 bi na ye ka tie for say Israel FM you the rights say premiership no the commentary beba na ye sa so yi ama manfo ahwe bi ni asa so abohu de ru say the ya and the games no Fulham Arsenal, Crystal Palace Southampton, Liverpool Leeds United way 4:30 the live commentary eba tenasi between 4:20 hormone na fear the pre-game analysis na ba na fear so to game so West Ham United so Newcastle bebo echina West Bromwich Albion on Leicester City and Tottenham Hotspur and Everton. Ala, for benediction bre na emrenti yetimi amfa.
Yes, yetimi.
Okay, first game ni cost Fulham. Any Arsenal Asha 1-0. 22 minutes played in the first half.
Alexander Lacazette.
Okay.
A goal scoring now this season. And we are the commentary beba.
Okay.
And then Nana Kwame any supporters mobilization exercise no. Any Asante Gold in community and me amfa nya support number but next week dey nya support ne beba.
Ebetum ko pon ho crack akra Monday to Friday.
Yes.
Yes. Because when bebre no, Monday the kakraba, Tuesday kakraba, Wednesday sa.
That's it.
But then all the documents bad do. You know na you. Na niam agu ani awunya no.
Oh, say is am job adwuma.
Okay.
Oh. Adwuma ya etia ka no. And say be hwehwe na be information obi ade aba.
Oh, okay.
Nti adwuma no sa na amra ne sitie. Sa so pepper so na be ye na akofin say ebeja adwuma de na so obi fofo so aba be so but once e wo mu de intimate season with information me so say the nkofo hwe kotoko management no ebia the expectations of this platform sen kasa me nkedi din bi atututu dwa no nko sa ma omo the reason why I enter sa ne say ahayin twantro nti se nukra na enye krojin a na yen high ho se chinchina ye de ba betudwa nti yes edina woti obabi wo hu obabi yesu ehu bi ye tutu ye de ho ba mu ye mpese ye ba be ka emmem
ye tutu ho na emfa etini
David ebi fa we want to you say ba na ye ba
sure
we dey want maka on ambulance ya ba nti ye be say ba na ye ba nti ye tiefo nya abotra kakra bi maye ye sinsem twadwuma no to da bia na ya crazy nye speed ya crazy no enye ntem na wo de be ka no
o to be kan no kan
yie no wo kan ntem na se enye no kra ene ka wanka kwanka fa so nti efridwa de ko no de enhye tiefo ni ahwefo nyina abo se
information be a war the new form management team of Masa Kotoko no ye mama ye see for aswati send the be a day na no okay and she mama force say from Monday to Friday to no yeah live Kings TV yes, on multi TV the boss no was a heavy Clemente that's what style be or said that yeah that was a man who you know yeah mama from am kakra bi na yeah sorry so 03220 83581 and 03220 83582 03220 83583 03220 83584. Hello
Abozo
Ube Jim
Bibia boko de
Who are done patrol and service
I'm Mr. Michael and command Mr. Samoa Omo US Omutio pa Otom so Sweden and Akufuboga of Vienna Austria Abozo on the uti na kwa abdan kwa nchechi mo dia ba oyokotoko ni mapa because amenga say na ko yobia ye beka so ibia ye do kan board we hu amebi e wa fluent no but wo hwe a wo die chira sa ba kuma nti be de ya na go fon fa kuma pa and support rather than say ye beki kan sema enhye de nim ni e ka gubi bi wo kwa na yintwato so what because kotoko ne has no ye se be be bo be ni nyina se has kon kan na kotoko kon kan ameli gi mu yede because any has ye yi bas fefe IFA players no the okoko the ye make sure say ye di be shime di shim aye ne kotoko bas ba ku ko se si kwa pije da no tin bas se si kwa na akoko bi ko tugu ase otugu ase wi ya no se hwane wa se na bas nda so ote
ese wankasa okay ayala joso okay
hello
yes sir
bebacho hu ye die
bebacho ayin
wa o de se adansi piesie odi fo kwa blasale asante be kwa ya sansu fe ya sasebe ma onabo wine onabo je se be kwa mpin so tie mu pa ofa asem na ne e kan o e be 24 so fa no apangu akwam na bo ne en sate na ha se ntina tie nya kotokofo ho me da ase
yanso ye da ase hello
ofa good afternoon
yeah good morning mr 12 nyamo
good morning the pastor white man from asante atu ofa we ma mo ni aduma tene onye pati obeka na kotoko na half that you no original na madana itinye league ni wa ebe ye mpanyim for na kwenya na anasa kwanya omo faso amaye club ya say league na fini start then apo ye mu bi ye ni mu ba kokura ye ni mu kura e me say adada po na mo wo we mu na penfu no sa ko na da po itibia wo ye bia no fa enso ye ni omo nya mo to so mo mayi na ga na efa fa nti ba go ntia
okay yanso ye da si hello hello experience man Razak experience man
hey Moses
Razak experience man
ya minister na in fact Moses many aje na me dey radio na Moses only say una ukasa ye ama na pamatifia national we tell you na name pamatifia we tell you on BC eba ye nkobi so obi spell BC eti Moses we dey in fact na nye jama na yakupo israel na mejiri se djuma wo ye no ye nya ye ni pipe tawo chi Moses wakasa na kotogo djuma ni je onye ken no chi mu ta ko plan ko sai about the 3 6 6 plan kotogo ko bien ndo ko Moses yo kon pa yo tawo chi na mejiri se papa na yo ponsa ye du bien so ye papa ko so ko no ye papa e bi se ye de kotogo so sa wo ye ben ko na wo ye kotogo wo ye penini e ti ye papa ye ba se so management wo mama na solid management for Moses e baby na pa mi chechia na pa mi fobia wo ko mu no mi ti se se kotogo ko ye na wo ma de ko se be so mu kotogo
okay ye dance hello Ebajo odi be afrefi. Okay.
Nacho na ko recruitment no ko yes no enim de afa o mo nbetu mi atu jama.
Okay, ya de betu ja Monday 9:30 ya de ni na betu ja. Why? Ba bi wa fa na yala ona ni na guta no.
Ya menka o so na be PL ma ko doko.
Okay, ya da say. Last one. Hello.
Uncle Moses.
Yes sir.
Igino from Homeda Kentina in Kapali. After Moses the can say wa wani tia. Na patu can be. Ye football no. They say atiada. ye hwe si nyame bo na president beka fa ye pese e peja na youth and sports economy and me nka kase mo ni ntimi bi tianso moti.
Okay, yanso yeda se etiefo mfa nche yentimi emfa afrefo bia ebiem yede news na beba na okay the news no betwentwe kakra na yede aben wa ha na eba oku betena se yede aben wa ha ebeba ayala from Monday yasa so nya another offer. Hey, is it there? Okay, from Monday Nhyira passports will also be live on Asa Plus TV, online TV. Okay. Only from Monday, almost so ever fun.
Oh, nice.
Emenya more guests.
More guests. I was only Nana Omokasa. It's in Nana Barbering Shop. Okay. The official barbering shop for multimedia.
Okay.
And you more.
And the Bamiyan call, Timmy Kapaku, our big Marcus. Okay. Stadium or Wife Street.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, big Marcus, na if you are the idea. Now, into Nana only tornado me chamu baby movie. I'm just a best time. My body, ma. Or muti. So, but top high in the Potamo, the upper baby.
I'm going to be Marcus one year. You are not, now, I want to hear every day. Monday, you live on Kings TV. Multi TV the boss. Kings TV, Multi TV the boss. You live also. Now it's also live. Asa Plus TV, online TV. And so we say mina ebesa so aba. And our princess say, "What to Tottenham for all 20 hours today?" Okay, I say I'm loving your host too much. Blessed senior, my station is now at its peak again. Okay, even here, Ella, my next number. Hey, Kakari, come Kakari. What's the good? Yeah, the champion for say 54 years. No, Yanya day. 4 no crying try. How good? Now the never.
No, Canada. O can send me. O say afeni ebe pede.
Afeni ebe pem masa akrafo fro no.
No be we di was we dey Twesунte news.
Dey asem
Twesунte. Obi di no Twesунte kwaku.
Ogu.
Abije wonte da.
Da bi o.
Oh, kafra.
Ekro.
Eye Twesунte. O si kwaku something. Di angasan ni din ba. Di atado fani kwaku something. Oh, di atado fani kwaku something. Nemum ne won e voters ID card so no. Twesунte kwaku.
Overina. Mu ya okay there. Yes, ya ba na manfo so ba. Ya jakata video no aba oku ene ofori amanfo oboto aso omo de aben wa ha ene ye kana shekeke.